All right, we're live. Welcome to another edition of the Mangia Cast. Bob Papa, Chris Bizignano. Chris,
Chin's my friend, Chin.
I made myself a nice. Look at this.
Boy, look
carbonara.
at that.
I'm going to teach everybody how to make a carbonara tonight. You need 3 ingredients to make a carbonara.
Shit, that looks good.
Straight out of Rome.
Ooh, baby.
People think you need milk, you need cream, you need this, that. 3 ingredients. I'm gonna tell our audience tonight how to do it. It's simple to make. Simple to make. We got a lot of ball.
You're gonna make Italians out of this audience yet?
All right. We're gonna make everybody Italians, and we got to welcome in our guests because we want to talk a little quarterbacks tonight. We want to talk a little draft prospects. This, that, the other thing. And who better to bring in than the MVP of Super Bowl 21, 2-time Super Bowl champion, one of the greatest players to ever play in the history of the New York Football Giants. Please welcome to the Mangia Cast, Phil Simms. Phil
Simms.
Chris, good to see. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got. At least I got you, Phil.
Okay. I've been sitting here making. Can y'all hear me? Because I'm just so adept to working computers and all this stuff so well. I am the worst. I mean, I need to really go to college for a semester to learn how to work my phone, the computer, all the other stuff. It's terrible. But it's good to be out there. Bob, wait. I just had dinner. It was boring next to what you were smashing in your face a few minutes ago.
What was sucking it down? Yeah.
What was that?
So I made a simple Roman carbonara.
Right.
Okay, it's very easy. It's very easy to make. Phil, I know you like to work your way around a kitchen. All you need is pepper, pasta, 1 egg, 1 egg yolk,
okay,
pecorino romano, and that's guanciale. You don't want to use pancetta for this. It's the pork cheek, which you can get in markets, especially up north. A little harder to find down here. But it's super easy to make, and it's awesome. You don't need cream. You don't need milk. You don't need anything in order to make a traditional Roman carbonara.
Well, I'll say this. You showed us the bowl. I don't have a bowl that big. That's enough to feed a family of 10. And so you got some issues over there if you need all that.
It's for the show, man. It's for the show.
Oh, okay. Well, good. I like that. That's good.
Hey, Phil, how long you living in North Jersey now?
Oh, shoot. Since 1979.
So, Phil, I mean, that has to make you somewhat Italian, right?
Oh, man. I tell this all the time. Thank God I didn't grow up here because this Italian food, I would have been 300 pounds coming out of high school because I love it. I love the restaurants around New Jersey, especially where I live up here. I mean, I never even go to New York, Chris. The great Italian restaurants, they're all over the place up here. I don't need to go to New York to get food that's not as good and pay more for it. So
I tell you, Phil, I'm only out in Jersey 8 years. I grew up in New York, and
right.
I came out here. I remember my father came out here years ago, and he said, "Hey, you're not going to believe the Italian restaurants out here in Jersey." And I was like, come on, you're full of shit. How good could it be? We're from New York. Right. All that crap, Phil, Yeah. And then I came out here. I tell you, man, I'm with you. I've had some of the best Italian restaurants that I've been to out here in my 8 years in Jersey than I ever been to.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
So I'm with you. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you, man. The food's incredible.
If I ever get a little light in the pants, lose a little too much weight or whatever, go eat some good bread, eat a couple good meals. I'm right back where I want to be. So, but you're right, Chris. It's great. The food up here. I used to get on the plane once I discovered Italian food up here.
Right.
I went to this one restaurant, which I've been to, Arturo's in Midland Park. I probably have been to it. I'm not even going to exaggerate. I'm going to say probably 300 or 400 times since I've been up here. And they used to make pasta fagioli for me. Mm-hmm. Enough. I mean, these big pots, and I would take it and we would have it on the plane with bread and everything. And everybody's like, "Oh my gosh!"
I can imagine.
It was awesome. It was great. So,
Pop, show that dish again, Pop. Come on, you're stuffing your face, you're wiping like an animal. Show that dish again.
Well, here, you know what? I'm going to show you the finished product. Okay.
what, the size of your rear end? Is that where the finished product?
Whoa, Phil.
Yeah, I'm saying, with the finished product, you eat all that. You gain weight, you get bigger. I just, I don't know. There you go.
There's the finished product.
Yeah. It does look great, Bob.
It does look good, Bob.
Came
I
out
give
nice.
you credit.
Came out nice.
The guy could
No.
the guy could cook. The guy could cook.
I'm a pretty good cook too. And the big thing is once you start cooking a lot, my wife expects me to cook a lot.
Right.
And I was like, man, what have I done here? Like I make breakfast every morning for my wife and me, whatever. I serve it to her in bed. And one morning I go up there and I didn't have everything I want to use. I like to make avocado toast a lot. And whatever, I just had scrambled eggs and a cup of coffee and she gets it and she goes, well, I can't eat these if you don't give me some toast. And I went, wow, I have spoiled you so bad.
You really have.
We laugh about it, but the way she said it was like, I can't believe you would. Hey, I was just trying to help her out. Oh, it makes my eyes are watering just thinking of it. But
Phil, where's your glass of wine? What happened?
I got one right here.
Oh, there you go. Jen, my friend, Jen.
Pretty glass. Got this in Italy. And my wife bought it. So yes, it is beautiful.
From the
So
home.
Phil,
Oh, that was good.
we got one of our viewers already
Uh-oh.
that wants to know. Good evening, my fellow paisans. I have a feeling that Matt Stafford will be eating chicken parmesan and Reese Rutherford pretty shortly.
Wow.
This is the lying time of the year, though, Phil. You know that, Biz. You know that. There's all kinds of rumors going on right now.
Yeah. Yeah. The difference is this rumor, I believe. I believe it. I think think about it this way with the Giants real quick. However we discuss. You got a proven veteran who is still one of the most exceptional throwers of the football we've ever seen in history in the NFL. He's in that group of guys, you can name them because he is just a drop dead thrower of the football. So you're the head coach, Brian Daboll, and Joe Shane's the general manager. You can fix the position right there. If something happened where they have to trade him or, he's unhappy, of course, out there in Los Angeles. So you get him, and that kind of, all right, you're off to a great offseason start there. And then you deal, hopefully, if anything like this is going to happen, I hope it happens before the draft, of course. And, then we'll see what the Giants do with their draft pick from there.
We had on my Sirius show today, we had one of the co-founders of Spot Track. They keep track of all the salaries and stuff like that. He made a really good point. He said, look, Stafford's out of guaranteed money. He's due to only make $27 million. That's probably the rub with him and the Rams right now is Les Snead willing to create a 2 or 3 year deal with a voidable year to get him up to par with what everybody else is making. So it really is the rub as far as finances, isn't it?
Yeah, the Rams are going to play this tough or whatever. Think about it this way. Look how close the Rams got to with the Philadelphia Eagles and winning it. So we know that they have the structure right now of a football team with a little touch here and there is going to be a big-time team next year. We all would expect them to go to the playoffs and have success. And that's only going to happen if they have a true veteran quarterback like Matt Stafford, or if they decide they can't pay him all this money, which sooner or later, I think he's going to win that battle. So that'll put me, that's just what I think. But man, if you let him go, good luck on finding somebody who can throw it like him and be as tough as him to give your team a great chance to win, which they showed last year.
Phil, is that a concern when you think about Les Snead and Sean McVay that they're talking about maybe moving Stafford because they are a playoff? Let's face it, Phil, they are a Jalen Carter hitting Stafford's arm away from possibly going to the Super Bowl. This is
Yeah.
a playoff team. Are you a little concerned? Like, do you say yourself, hey, why would they maybe be looking to move on from Stafford? They don't have a guy in the waiting.
No, I don't even listen. I follow the league close, and I'm not sure who the damn backup is, to be honest. It was Easton Stick, it seems like, out there or whatever. I don't know if he was the backup last year or not. I don't even know, which is bad. Usually I know all the backup quarterbacks and follow them. But yeah, hey, look, this is everybody's talking. What does it mean? We don't know. But it's coming down to this, of course. It's about money, and they got to find another quarterback to start working with them, draft one, whatever it is, to know one day after another year or two. Matt Stafford, I would think he by then would be ready to retire. So, it's always about positioning. What can you believe? And it always comes down to this. It's usually always about money, Chris. So this is about money. So
Phil, I know you've been looking at these college kids
some not a great deal. I've been digging into them a little more of the last few days, Bob. Then I started to build a little library, and I write so many notes about everything that I'll go through them and straighten it up and kind of really get a definitive idea of what I really think about these guys. But go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
So because the college game is different in a lot of ways, there's some quarterbacks that have never been under center. When you look at these guys, what are some of the characteristics that you look for that say, okay, this will translate into the NFL?
Right.
If he's got the right coaching and he's got a good OC, a good head coach, a good quarterbacks coach, whatever it is, that this skill set should translate to NFL play?
Well, I always say this every year about the draft, and we talk about the quarterback so much. And I say this, I want to know this right away. I'm always a winner, all these cliches that are out there. I mean, come on. If he's on a good team, he's a good quarterback, he'll be a winner. So let's don't worry about that. But, and he's too old. He's been in college football. It's too long, 6 years, which we saw with Bo Nix. That really hurt Bo Nix. He really struggled. But I look for this first and foremost. I want to see a physical characteristic that is, to a degree, good enough or outstanding, whatever, to know that he can have a chance physically to have success in the NFL. I don't get into he made great decisions. I want to know, is it size? Is he fast? Does he have a great arm? Is he dead ass accurate throwing the football, just doesn't miss? And I always start from there. And if I watch somebody and I just go, wow, okay, yeah, they had a good team. He won a lot of games. His numbers are good. But damn, I just don't think it's going to translate because I don't see the physical attributes that give him a chance to really have great success in the NFL.
Phil, have you watched much of Shedeur Sanders?
Yeah, a little bit, not a great deal. I watched a couple games early in the year. Here just recently. And then I went and watched him play BYU, which was the toughest team they played. And it was rough, but I wanted to just see it. And there was a lot there. We know Shedeur is going to go fairly high in the draft. I don't know where. But he has a strong arm. It's not great, but it's good. Mm-hmm. He's tough as hell. He knows how to play. I think he's got really good feet to move and get away from people in the pocket around it. I think it's one of his great strengths. And the other thing is on the run, he's a good thrower on the run. And he's got long arms. I don't know. He looks like he has big hands the way he manhandles the football, which I think are always important too. It's people go, why do they measure their hands, Chris and Bob? Why do they do this? And I go, well, the bigger your hand is, the smaller the ball is. And the smaller that ball is the more you can just control it and do what you want with it. I mean, it's just think about it. What's a good thing to say about? Well, what if the Major League Baseball was a little smaller and you put it? And they say, oh my gosh, they would be throwing pitches up there nobody could ever hit. So having big hands, I think, it's not an end all, but it's definitely a quality you love to see in a quarterback.
Cam Ward, Phil. Have you watched
Cam Ward? He's fun to watch. I've watched about 3 or 4 of his games. I saw him play it against the University of Louisville. I don't know if it was his best game of the year, but damn if it wasn't. I want to see the best one. He made so many incredibly high effort, big time throws. And it wasn't like, oh, there's 3 of them here. No, it's like every series. Hell, it was every other throw. I just went, oh my gosh, another rocket down the middle, throw outside. He's got a great feel for the game, kind of, knows how to manage the pocket and all that stuff pretty well. But it's what I've watched of him so far. It's been I've been very impressed. And the big thing is, all that saying that, he played up in Syracuse in that last game of the year. If they win, they're going to go to the the playoffs.
Right.
And, he can play a little loose and just kind of go for everything and take chances. And there's a guy wide open for 10 yards, but he goes, yeah, there's a guy 30 yards down there. I'm going to rip it to him. And so he does some of that. I like that in him. But talking about the Syracuse game, he managed it like he was playing the Super Bowl. He managed the game. He understood the situations the whole time. Because I watched the game live, and then I watched it on tape here recently, and I was really, really impressed with that. Can get rid of the ball with people all over him. I don't know what his sack numbers were, but it doesn't seem like he takes a lot of sacks when I just watch it and don't write down some of these stats. But he's a powerful thrower, and, I like him a lot. I really do.
Bill, do you subscribe to this theory? Because I don't know. I just watch college football like a fan watches it. I don't put my brain power into it. The prevailing theory or feelings are that if any of these quarterbacks were in last year's draft, they'd go after the top 5. Do you believe that, or do you think that's just a lot of internet talk?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of talk. I don't have the information in front of me in my head right now that I want to talk about that. I've heard it a lot. And all right, so if they go out to the top 5, so that means they're still going to the top 10, whatever. So it's good. And I think that really, I felt like last year in the draft, we all knew these players so well, even before we got into this conversation. And yeah, they definitely would not go 1 and 2 in the draft. If that happens in this one, I don't know. But I think they would move down the chart. Listen, Caleb Williams, I think I watched him last year getting ready for the draft. I watched 2 games and said, man, I don't need to watch anymore. This is redundant. It's a highlight film. Big, strong, can move, can throw every throw that you want in the NFL. Powerful arm. I think he's accurate as hell. And on the run and how he played the game, it was awesome to watch him. And Jaden Daniels was probably, without question, I think when he was a senior at LSU that season, after 2 games, I was at CBS, and we were in the production meeting. It's like 7:30 Sunday morning, and Bill Cowher said something to me about Jaden Daniels. I said, yeah, he's going to win the Heisman Trophy. I mean, he's going to put up unbelievable numbers. The receiving core, the offense, the fact that he can run so well and all that. So those 2 were just knocked down. It doesn't matter what happens. You can't miss drafting those 2 quarterbacks, I thought, last year.
Do you like these guys like Jaden Daniels or Bo Nix?
Bo Nix was tremendous.
It used to be, he's too old coming into the draft. But now people are looking at it inverted, right?
Yeah.
Man, that gets me. Oh, his upside is bigger because he only was in college 3 years or whatever. That's one of those I like to put under the heading of stupid things that we say. And it really is. I mean, come on.
What quarterbacks, right? Like, you don't want a running back in his 6th year coming out.
Yeah. Well, Bo Nix, he's been in college for 6 years, and he's 25. Oh my God, he had to retire after a year or 2. I mean, come on, Chris. Am I right or wrong? It's crazy when they say this crap.
Phil, I got to be honest with you. I don't know why you wouldn't want a quarterback who's played 30, 40 college games. It's, you look at Anthony Richardson, right, Phil, and he comes out after 1 year in Florida.
Yeah.
And it's like, you see the difference, man. I mean, Bo Nix, I don't get it. Like, why some people would say, he played 5 years in college.
No, he played 6.
The more games, the better, in my opinion, Phil.
The games, and they threw a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't like Bo Nix last year coming out in the draft. I loved him, and it was amazing. I'm always a little careful talking to people. and I knew this group didn't like him, and that was talk I was doing interviews with, and I go, what is it you don't like about him? Well, his arm's not super strong in this. He's not very mobile. Really? God, well, how mobile do you got to friggin' be? Damn, he moved around. And hey, it's so many things about it. His talent and his knowledge of the game were evident when you watched Oregon play.
Mm-hmm.
And then knowing his father was a great high school football coach and still is. And then once he gets drafted, I went, oh my God, he went to Sean Payton. God, oh, it's the perfect match.
Perfect system.
Sean Payton created a new offense for Bo Nix. It had nothing to do with his offense down in New Orleans. I mean, Bob, am I right or wrong? I mean, that offense, Drew Brees was not doing anything, the things that Bo Nix was doing. His movement, his aggressiveness, his decision-making, I mean, everything. He's a natural leader. My thoughts about him were really that strong in the draft. And you know, it's one of those, finally, I was right about somebody. So hey, come on, you know, you just never know. It's so much to it. And like I love this. Every Monday I watch TV to get some ideas sometimes, and it only takes a few minutes. And they go, Caleb Williams, oh, he's not playing well. Oh, they just go crazy. God damn, I just watched the game. He was fantastic physically, but he can't call the timeouts and do all the stuff for the coach. The damn coach was trying everything. We got to lose this game, and I'm going to make sure.
His coaching malpractice.
Oh, my God. I mean, they lost so many games.
There was a lot of that
at the end. Just think about the difference, how we look at this. Look how many games Washington won at the end.
Mm-hmm.
They beat the Giants second game of the year, right? Is that what it was, the second game?
Mm-hmm.
And because the Giants didn't have a kicker. That's, to me, that was the reason why they won. The Hail Mary. They had like 5 games that could have gone either way easily, and that sets a standard or a story or whatever we want to say about the one that's winning, and then Caleb Williams is losing. It's his fault, which is asinine. That's all I can say about it. So,
Phil, one guy coming out, Charlie Weiss is absolutely crazy about it. Obviously, his kid coach
Jackson Dart. Oh, yeah.
Jackson Dart, right? I mean, there's so many different opinions on him, Phil. Have you watched him?
Yeah, I did. I watched a few games. During the year, Chris, I watch college. This is what's great about, even when I had the job at CBS or the pregame show, Saturdays, I'm done working and I just sit and watch college football all day long. But Jackson Dart, for some reason, I don't think I watched one Ole Miss game on TV the whole year.
Okay.
But so it's been kind of fun watching him. Yeah, he's got a good arm, great experience, really taught well by Lane Kiffin and, Charlie Weiss's. What's Charlie Weiss's son's name? Is it Charlie?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they do a great job down there. I watched it and I went, wow. Yeah, he's a good player, Jackson Dart. I like this. He's got size. He can make all the throws, all that. And I said, this damn offense is really good.
Mm-hmm.
And they get some good receivers too, which I'll be shocked if one or two of them is not going to be a pro football player. But, I like the offense. I liked him, but he's a guy that I'm not finished with. I always have holes to poke into all these guys, and I'll kind of hold off on those for another couple of weeks until I'm really sure.
What about the kid from Oregon? You and I talked today on the phone a little bit. He's kind of intriguing, isn't he?
Man, he caught my attention. I think we all look at him as like a little novelty act or something. And I said to you, Bob, I said, I don't know. I think I look at it. I think he's 6 foot. I don't know what the weight was.
He's like 215 or something. Yeah.
Oh, is he over? He's really? Yeah, I wrote it. I got it in my book here.
I'm sorry, Phil. Like 185, 190.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Sorry, my mistake. Yeah.
But tons of experience, successful in every offense he's run. I mean, I just look look over there at Oklahoma and I go, what the hell were y'all thinking? We're going to let him go because we got a recruit coming in and or whatever. So that puts some people's jobs on the line. But to say he's accurate is an understatement. He is drop dead accurate. He does not miss when they're open. He can change his arm, even though he's not a big guy. He can play tall, kind of like Drew Brees. He stands tall and he can get his arm high and still find ways to generate the power and spins the ball, moves around. Good. I think he's pretty damn mobile. So I think he's going to be an interesting guy. I wouldn't be shocked to see him get talked about a little more as this goes along because the throwing, it's beautiful. And the other thing is, too, playing at Oregon, man, they don't fool around. It's just like, wow, let's run the ball this time for our wide receivers and get a little rest before we throw it again. That's what it looks like. And my son Matt was at the University of Louisville, and I think one of the quarterbacks with him was, I hope his name, I know it's Stein, Will Stein. He's the offensive coordinator. So he's designed an offense that he could run, and because he was a quarterback, and he's translating it to all these guys that are coming in, Bo Nix, and of course, who's out there now. And it's been terrific and worked really, really well.
Phil, is there anybody that's like a sleeper where guys that aren't really talking about yet that you see could be kind of, this time of year, you go to combine, draft, pro days. Anybody you see that, hey, they're not talking about this kid right now, but they're going to be talking about him in a month?
Oh, that's a good question. I thought, Bob, when we were going over Germany, you were sitting around, you hear some of these conversations, I think, with everybody. Yeah, well, I won't get into all the things we said, but I was really high at the time on Jalen Milroe, very high, because, I saw him last year, and I said, man, he's had a couple of big games, and the throws and he's got enough experience where you don't have to worry about it too much. But, man, it fell apart in every aspect. Couldn't escape the pressures, wasn't making good decisions, couldn't find the second and third guy at all, and surely not fast enough, and not accurate throwing the football. Man, that's a lot of negatives right there. And, I just saw somebody's draft thing, or they had him as ranked as a third quarterback, and I go, oh, that ain't going to happen. So that was probably the biggest surprise. Before the year, I said, man, this Jalen Milroe will get a good year of experience. He's going to go really high in the draft. I just thought the skill was there, good arm, all this other stuff. But it did not come through for him. And I'm sure a new coach had a lot to do with that too.
It's funny, Phil, because during the season, there was a game. I forget which one. He looked really good. I'm texting Pop, and I'm texting, hey, Bob, check out Milroe. Look what he's doing out there. And Pop's like, the ball placement, I don't know, the NFL. No, I'm telling you. And then Phil, like 2 games later, I text Bob back, he's going the wrong direction.
Well, the Oklahoma game was just like off the charts. It was, and look, it wasn't all his fault. Of course, they were not protecting. They didn't know how to pick up a blitz, nothing. But yeah, that was it. And it really kind of stayed bad for the rest of the year. And I don't think he had a very good week down at the Senior Bowl either. It's a lot of stuff, to fight through, and that narrative's out there. Is there enough work that we're going to see that we just go, all right, it was rough. New offense, not that great of an offense. Didn't like it that much. I was a little surprised by that. And under a lot of pressure. So those things you take into account. I like to always go back to Josh Allen. Oh, he only completed 55% of his passes. I go, yeah, he's playing with 8th graders. I mean, it was, I'm trying to get, it was me and a guy at CBS, Josh Cohen, who kind of designs all the plays when I was doing games with Jim Nantz, he would get a package of 3 plays to show people why the game and they're winning. And he was great at that. And he calls me one night about 11:30, and I was home that night. He goes, are you watching ESPN? I said, sure. I'm watching Josh Allen. He goes, oh my God. It was his second last year. And it was hilarious. He was throwing passes that were bouncing off face masks for sure. And, it was no screens. I won't get into names, but all these completion percentages, how's it working out for him now? And as some famous quarterback said, well, you just can't teach accuracy. Well, that's a bunch of crap too. We can't teach it. It's just whatever we do the first day, it's over, which is really a stupid phrase. But Josh Allen, and coming out in the draft, one of those quarterbacks that year that was in that draft with him, threw 84 screenplays. 84. He completed 81. Josh Allen threw 12. So if you change the numbers, all of a sudden, Josh, oh hell, he's 70%. He's unbelievable. He's so accurate. So you got to look at these things and kind of have your own feel for it. And sometimes it's nice to do this and to be really right. I had Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. I didn't like them. I loved them.
I remember you came on our Sirius show and you were all over Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
When I watched him, I grew up 10 minutes from that stadium in Louisville. And so I tried to keep an eye on him. Bobby Petrino was coaching, so I was a big fan of his. So I like to watch him. But when I started watching it when the year was over, I went, oh, my God, he's so much faster than I thought. And his throwing was really, really good. I mean, really good, in which it's been proven out in the NFL. He's an extremely accurate passer. And when he needs to, he can put as much heat on that football as anybody in the NFL. So whoever loved Lamar Jackson coming out, you got that one right.
Well, Ozzie Newsome did.
Yeah, I'm sure. They got him the last pick of the first round? Is that what they move
last
back?
Pick of the first round.
Man.
Hey Phil, what are some of the look? This is the and me and Bob talk about this. This is the stupid time of year where you hear all kinds of stupid shit, right? Everybody's an expert. Everybody has the coach's film. Everybody knows this and that. What are some of the things that really annoy the shit out of you?
Oh, Sims.
Phil, I can tell you just got fired up when you were talking about the percentage completed.
Pasta listening to this.
Yeah.
When you see some of the stuff on social media, TV, whatever it might be, tell me what are some of the things that you hear and go, what are you talking about? Some of the things that really annoy the shit out of you when people are evaluating these guys.
Oh, when it comes to evaluations, they say things. I just go, oh, it's one of those catchphrases I get. Oh, he's got to work on his feet. And, I always say, well, tell me, work. What does he got to do? I'll tell you what he has to do. You want to, but, well, he's got to work on his feet. Oh, he has really quiet feet. What the hell is that? He's got quiet feet. I want my quarterback to stick his damn foot in the ground and turn and throw that damn thing. Oh, he's got quiet feet. Oh, what is he? A ballet dancer? Oh, bounce. It's crazy. Oh, I don't know, Bob. You know all these. Hey, this team, they like to throw the football to their good players out in space. No shit. Wow. Right, let's throw it where everybody else is, and let's throw it in the middle of a pile. And, I love this one. They got to stay ahead of the chains. I don't know what. Stay ahead of the chains? What? So define it for me. It's incredible. Oh, well, they're not staying ahead of the chains, and that's why they're losing the game. They're losing the game because the other team's whooping their ass.
And they suck on first down, and they can't run the ball. So they're in 2nd and 9 and 3rd and 11 every time.
Oh, my God, they're behind the chains. And, you got to high point the football.
That's a Phil Mushnick line. He was on that one years ago. Like, what? How about?
He got it from me, Bob.
Oh, he got it from you?
Well, I think I used to say it. I tried to never say any of those things. Moving the chains, you got to stay ahead of them, throw the ball to your best. And, you got to run north and south. No, oh, God, really? You mean you want me to gain yards?
You mean the end zone's not east or west?
Oh, let's just go to the sideline. There's nobody there. They won't hit us. I mean, come on. I have it probably right behind me somewhere. Chris, I swear to you, I have
Okay.
And I wanted to do it on national TV, and I never got to do it. I did it on Showtime. I did Inside the NFL, and we have a show on CBS. Has it's called Tops. I don't know I forgot what it stands for, but whatever. I would do some of these on there, and everybody would sit there. The guys that work on that show, and we just laugh because then I would bring people in. I'd say, "What's that mean?" Oh, there's a late flag. Really? So it's late. So the official went, God dang, I don't know.
That's so good.
Oh, it really is. It's just and I of course, hell, I got fired, so but I did do this. People would come into the booth at CBS. We always had visitors, and I had a thing
Hello,
stuck.
friends.
Yes, I had a thing on top of my telestrator that said, "Shut the F up." And that was because doing games, you can talk about every play. And I just always tried not to over talk. I kind of regret it. But you got to, if it's just a 3-yard run, let's do whatever we do.
Yeah, read the Murder She Wrote promo.
Yeah, well, that's
coming up on 60 Minutes. Good time for a promo.
Yeah, somebody said yes. Let's do the 60 minutes thing, and it's all. Make sure y'all get off the air for 60 minutes. Yeah, we're going to take a game that's doing whatever 100 million people are watching, and it's going to turn to 20. So let's hurry up, make sure we get to that 20. Yeah. Oh well, it's all.
Hey Phil, some of these guys now they don't want to throw at the combine. Would that bother you? Does that bother you that a lot of these guys are choosing not to throw at the combine?
I think once you're in a certain spot, I'm watching Bob. Every time you ask a question,
no, he's really sucking that down.
He is ripping it up.
Wow, he is destroying that ball.
I'm going to teach you how to make it before this is over.
I like it. I want to know.
He's eating like he hasn't eaten in a month. Good.
What was the question, Chris? I already forgot. I'm too.
Does
busy.
it bother you? I know. I mean, it's tough not to be distracted with this guy with the macaroni sticking out of his face.
Oh, sorry. He got to wipe his chin. He's got so much olive oil.
Suck it down. Okay, yeah. Phil, let's.
No olive oil in this dish, by the way. How you doing?
Oh, did you say none?
No olive.
You don't need any.
Oh, okay. All right.
Phil,
I know you like olive oil.
Yeah, I do.
Anyway, go ahead. Go with your question.
I don't know what the question was. I forgot.
Yeah. Does it bother you, Phil, if some of these guys don't throw at the combine now?
No. If you think you got a spot secured, then why go and have anything that can give anybody something to question? And I've already told 2 quarterbacks. I didn't get to tell them, but I did tell their agents, tell him not to run the 40 at the combine. If he wants to run a 40, do it at your pro day, because now you're in your atmosphere. You'll be a little looser. You'll be, the turf or whatever you're running on. Right. But don't go out there and run a 4.9, and that becomes the story of who you are or whatever. So there's a lot of pressure on that 40 for all the players. There really is. And the quarterbacks in the day's world, you want guys that can move around a lot, and they judge a lot on that. And I understand that. So if you're not completely ready to run that 40, then don't. Save it for 3 weeks later or 4 weeks when you're having your pro day with all your buddies at the college you're at. So I would be surprised if Cam, Ward, Shador, I can't imagine either one of those guys really doing anything. All they could probably do is hurt their standing, where whatever that is and where it is. Just protect what you're doing.
Phil, I'm going to ask you this. Obviously, you love the game, passionate about it. After all these years, what keeps driving you? Like, what is it about the game? It's almost like a narcotic, isn't it? Like it's obsessive, isn't it? Even for you at this stage of the game.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, I know it is for you and Chris. We're all obsessed with it, and I love to find out. I want to know the answer. And some weeks a week it'll be Friday. I go, gosh almighty, I'm behind where I want to be as far as watching people or whatever, and it really aggravates me. And so I like everything about football. This Parcells would always say, what makes it so great is because it's so damn hard, and it is hard. And I think the big thing, Bob and Chris, I'm not whatever. I want to try to tell the truth about players, coaches, and the team. I want to tell the truth. because I think I owe that to the players and coaches. You know, I can be critical, which I am, but I'm not just going to, the last play of the game, if he completes that 60-yarder, we win maybe, or what, I'm not going to do that kind of stuff. So I kind of hope that whatever fans listen, that they see it a different way, because fans only can know what they see on TV and what they hear and maybe what they read. But when they're watching it on TV, whoever's talking about it, is he talking about it in the right vein too? I think that's always important.
How much fun was it for you this year doing the preseason telecast on NBC4 New York with Carl and I, and then you had a chance to do a bunch of games on radio during the course of the year, but to do it kind of in a little bit of a different way, because having done Thursday Night Football myself, when you're doing a network standalone game or one that's going to 85% of the country, there's a lot of other business that has to get done.
Sure.
So this was a little more grassroots for you this year. Was it fun?
Oh, it was awesome. I think when we did that game, the first preseason game against the Detroit Lions, the game starts, Chris. Right. And, I did it for quite a few years. And the game starts, and I go, I'm nervous, and I don't even know what to say. And we go to commercial, and I hit the button and go, damn, I can't talk. I can't see anything. And it kind of settled me down. And after that, I had a good time, and I saw it better. I could focus, and I relaxed, and I loved it. And then we went down to Houston, Bob, and did that preseason game with the Giants. And I got done. I went, wow, that game, man, that was about as good as you could do a damn preseason game in my eyes. And I hate everything. And it was really good. And I said, boy, I wish I was doing this every week with the Giants, or just doing it. It was so much fun. The interaction with Bob. Of course, we had some good laughs in Houston, right, Bob? We were in a booth the size of my desk. And Chris, it was unbelievable.
So Biz,
it was that small, huh?
So here, I'm going to give you the back scoop on this, and we got it changed this year. So MetLife Stadium has one of the great TV booths as far as space is concerned.
Right.
Phil knows this, having worked in it. And when the Giants play the Jets and it's a Giants home game, we have the booth to ourselves because there's no split broadcast. So for years, you can put a partition up in the TV booth at Giants Stadium and at MetLife Stadium. Okay. And for years during preseason, the Giants partition the booth, and they let the visiting team's TV set up maybe in a little bit of the smaller part of the booth, but still more than enough space.
Right.
There's not a single team in all of the years that I've done the Giants on TV in the preseason on NBC4 New York that have ever split their network booth with the visitors. They put us up in the corner where radio goes, where the press is, in these little friggin' booths that are not equipped for TV, because radio, you need a monitor.
Yeah.
TV, you need multiple monitors. You need a telestrator. There's so much more that you need to do TV. And nobody will ever split their booth with us. Nobody. Cleveland doesn't do it. The Bengals, Detroit, nobody splits their booth.
Wow.
But the Giants always did. And finally, I put my foot down this year, and I'm like, listen, Mangia, come on. What are we doing here? Like, I remember one year, Matt Millen, myself, and Joe Theismann were doing a preseason game, not on air, for NFL Network, because when they brought Joe in as the third thing, after Collinsworth had left, and then I had Millen, we were in Buffalo, we were in a corner. Like, you can't do a game from there, TV.
No.
So finally this year, the one game at MetLife Stadium, we're like, tell the visiting team, pound salt, stick them somewhere up in the press box, somewhere, some radio booth, because we have been absolutely screwed for 20 years.
Hey, Bob, I did the Dallas Thanksgiving Day game with the Giants down there.
For Westwood One.
Yeah.
You know where that is.
Oh, my God. Chris, I like to watch the field because I can really see everything that goes on. I know right away why a play works and why it doesn't.
Right.
And I'm up in this booth, and it wasn't even like a football game. I was looking down, going, "Ah, what the hell happened? I don't know. I can't see." I had to watch it. I stood like this to the TV, to the one of the right in front of me, and I was like watching the game this way to talk because I couldn't look at the field. We were so far away and so high that I really couldn't make out who was making the tackle, anything. So,
Chris, you'd be in Dallas, like in SoFi Stadium, like in Minnesota, all these places. They've built these new stadiums. They're gorgeous. Network TV gets taken care of, but they put radio high up in the corner of the end zones. Yeah. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you can't do your job that way. And radio, home and away radio, national radio are rights holders. Listen, I've always said, if you want to put me near the roof where I can actually touch the lights, but I'm on the 50-yard line, I'll take it. Sure. Because now I can see the whole field. It's like it's an all 22, 10 times removed.
Right.
Yeah.
But when you put us in the corner, and I'll give Jerry Jones credit for one thing, because the press box is in the other corner of the end zone. But he does have visiting radio, the way all the booths are set up, going toward the back of the end zone. He's got visiting radio in the best spot. Home radio, and then or Spanish radio was next to you, and then Westwood One. Like, you were pretty much in the back of the end zone.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
I'm on the goal line. Which ain't any better.
I got to tell you, I was exhausted when it was over, too. Because I was like, hey, I was saying things. I said, I hope I got it right. We'd go to commercial. I go, did I get the right guy? Yeah, you did. That was a good job. I'm like, it was just a guess. I couldn't tell who was making the tackle or anything. It was.
All right, so Phil, we've been going on and on. I told you we'd have you on for 25 minutes, and here we are.
Oh, no, 25 minutes, we can't even get started. I'm looking. Oh, Tyler Shuck from Louisville. Interesting. Got to watch him a lot. Could sneak up on me a little more. Watch the Minnesota quarterback. I want to go and see one. Dylan Gabriel.
Kid from Oregon.
Yeah. Man, I wrote a lot about him. Can find the next guy in progression. Oh, and then I wrote, oh my God, and it's really easy for him. His arm is stronger than I expected to see. He does have a few passes batted down, but it's not because he didn't have the right release. They were just getting overpowered. He's got a great hand, holding the ball, his arm and everything. And I wrote all that down, how he can get rid of it. So he can get rid of it like that. He just gets it. He's going to get hit, turns, throws. I was really impressed. I got him at 6 foot, 200 pounds is what so this is kind of late too, but damn, there's a lot of stuff there. And when I get done with all of them, Chris, I did this last year.
Right.
I'll do videos and we show plays and we talk about them. But we talk about the quarterback, what he's doing,
right,
reading, but also then I really talk a lot about the physical talent,
right.
And other things. Why do they have these pro days? Everybody, they're out there running it under. Man, that pro day is important, Chris, Bob. It's important. I want to see the guy in person. I've already got about 4 set up. 4 of these guys are going to be drafted. I'm going to go watch them throw.
You're going to go to the pro day?
You going, Phil?
Oh, I'm going to where they're working out to watch them throw.
All right.
I can't wait, man. Because I want to. When you see it in person, it changes your thoughts about it. And so you got to see them, and so anybody goes on TV or writes into all the pro days are a joke. Tell them to shut up. It's important. To me, it's really important.
Phil, it seems like it's shifted from the combine to the pro days now. Like the pro days is what everybody really looks for, and the combine is kind of like that's what it seems like the league is shifting to.
Well, yeah, why? Because they don't have enough time to prepare for the combine. Senior Bowl was just, 10, 12 days ago. You got the combine coming with all these drills and everything else. You want to be at the right weight. You want to be prepared mentally. I mean, man, they go through the ringer down there. That combine, ain't no doubt about it. It's tough on the players for sure. So.
I mean, Ed McCaffrey was telling this story this morning about being at the combine and, you got to do these physicals.
Right.
So he said, they prod your body. He goes, I remember, he goes, they were looking at my elbow. And he goes, by the time I had to go actually do the stuff the next day, my body parts were sore.
He was exhausted.
Because 32 teams had to manipulate my elbow to where they wanted to manipulate it. He goes, and then you get a coach, a position coach that wants to talk to you. He goes, but then they send the young guys that really are not involved in the decision making. They use it as sort of learning how to do it. He goes, so now the guys got you cornered at 10:30 at night, and all I want to friggin' do is go to bed so I could work out tomorrow.
Yeah. It's
so
something.
The pro days obviously a little bit more.
Yeah, it's more relaxed, and they're really ready for it by then too. And Chris, so just saying all that, receivers, I want to see them run at the combine. That I've always, any of those speed guys, and even a lot of the drills they do for all the positions, I think they're well thought out and pretty good. But I think the quarterbacks, the 40, I mean, come on. I had to run the 40 for almost every team in the NFL coming out at Morehead State. I never gotten into a sprinter stance once in my life. So
Dimmed with the short shorts, 1979.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
The George Gervin shorts.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But, hey, I did it standing up, and I ran some good times. But, I listened to – there's a place close by to here where they have some guys getting ready for the combine.
just say it, Phil. This
What?
is not broadcast. Say the name of it.
What do you say? Oh, well, it's Parisi's.
Yeah.
Parisi's.
Listen, we promote anything on this.
Oh, okay.
This is
Well,
our
damn right.
show.
Hey,
I'm
yeah,
wearing-
now
I'm
you
wearing
tell
a
me when
Mangia-
it's almost
I'm wearing a
over. I
Mangia
can
Cast sweatshirt.
no bad days.
Well,
Yeah. Well, I'd like, me. Well, I can't even say what I'd probably put on my shirt. That's a different thing. But I go and watch them, Chris, and they spend days and days and weeks just getting in the stance and taking the first step. It's, oh my God, these kids mentally, when they go home, they must be like, it's exhausting.
Must be exhausting.
can I tell you a funny story? This is probably like 2014. And the Giants we're talking about doing this segment for one of the off-season shows. So I was working out with this trainer who would come to my house, and he was the head trainer for Seton Hall men's basketball, Phil Dyer, great guy.
Right.
And I was lazy working out. So he didn't have my phone number. My ex had his phone number. So he would show up 3 days a week at 6 a.m. I couldn't cancel because I didn't have his number. So I had to get up. But we decided to do this stuff for the Giants on TV where I did a combine. I ran the 40. I did the cone drill.
Yeah.
The ball catching drill I killed.
Yeah.
But I was shocked because when I first started training for the 40 thing, I'm lining up, getting ready to run. And then he's timing me in Chatham, New Jersey on the fucking street. And my numbers are what they are. But then he started getting me in the stance and which leg to power and which arm. And I shaved like a half a second off my time right out of the gate because I was in my mid-40s at that point. And it's amazing how the technique makes all the difference in the world. So circa 1979, you don't have any of that.
No. They did want to take me. I did not go. I was supposed to go to Philadelphia with 20 other players to get the doctors from all the teams to look at us. And I'd already been on the road visiting teams, and every day I was having a session to throw with another team. And, mentally I was like, oh my God, I got to get on a plane and go to Philadelphia. And they're going to just, So I told him, I said, oh man, I had a little wreck on the way to the airport. I missed my flight. And, nobody cared and everything. I was like, oh good, I got out of that, so, but some of the things that had happened before I came out in the draft were so egregious that they had to do this. Guys had a torn ACL and nobody knew. And they're like, wait, you got a torn, oh my God. And, teams were drafting people that couldn't even play as rookies because they had so many injuries and they hadn't recuperated yet. So it was crazy. It was a lot of fun. You can't do that. It was a lot of fun though, getting ready for the draft, and all the workouts were all. I mean, I'm a quarterback. Oh, what do you want me to do? Oh, you want me to throw? Okay. I mean, it was free and so much fun to do. So,
all right. So once a giant, always a giant, right? So
yep.
I'm gonna bring up a picture right here because
geez.
No, the other night we were at River Palm in Edgewater.
Right.
And our boss and the guy who created Giants Chronicles and created the history of the Giants as far as creating the Giants version of NFL films, Don Sperling is retiring. So I'm going to get out of the way. But look at this picture right here.
Yeah. Okay. What's that in the middle? Somebody's.
Yeah, what the hell's moving back and forth in the middle there, Pop?
I don't know.
Oh, that was. Yeah, there you go.
There's Phil. We got O'Hara, Eli, Cross,
Howard.
We got Phil,
Howard Cross, Justin Tuck.
Who's that? Brandon? Is that Brandon London at the end there? Pop?
Brandon London, Carl Banks, Justin Tuck.
Yeah.
So we all gathered for this dinner the other night. Phil, I want to ask you about this. Some of you were teammates. Obviously, you and Cross and Banks won 2 Super Bowls. Well, you and Banks won 2. Howard won 1 with you. Went to an NFC Championship game. And then Eli and Tuck won 2. Sean won 1. Brandon won 1. So you didn't play together as teammates, but there's like a crazy-ass bond that exists. Can you try to describe for our audience kind of what that means as Super Bowl champions? And even though you guys weren't teammates, there's a commonality that you all feel as you guys were talking at dinner. I'm not going to reveal the conversations.
Yeah.
But, what that's like to be a part of that. You only won 1 uniform your entire career. Eli only won 1 uniform his entire career. Howard won 1 uniform. Obviously, Carl, Justin, and Sean wore other uniforms. But just can you put into words for our audience what that's like?
Well, in many things, I think first and foremost, when you have success, it makes all these gatherings and all that much better. And that's the reason why you have them a lot of times. Well, Don Sperling, we were saying thank you for all the great work he did for the Giants and what he created down there. But I think, and then, of course, all of us playing for the Giants, Justin Tuck was sitting next to me, and Howard was telling stories, Bob, which, okay, Howard Cross really.
After many.
Oh, yeah. And he, no matter what they say, Howard, sit down, shut up. I'm going to whatever. But Justin Tuck just kind of looked, he goes, man, I would have liked to play. I wish I played on that group that you played with, because he's thinking of Lawrence Taylor, Harry Carson, just everybody, Carl Banks, of course, Gary Reasons. It was just so many guys. And of course they had it too. But I think too, the NFL back then was freer for guys on defense. And I even said to Eli, what year did the roughing the passer actually become a penalty? I don't know, but it sure as the hell wasn't in my early years.
No,
I don't ever remember getting a roughing passer penalty.
Didn't start until about, I would say it didn't start until about 2008 when Brady got hit low against Kansas City in week 1. Yep. And they were like, whoa, we can't have guys diving at the knees. So they put that in, and then it just layered after that. Yeah.
Well, I can remember games. We played San Francisco in 1984 in the playoffs out there. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I was like a flying object, Chris. They were hitting me. I was flying through the air, baby. And, the great thing is it's grass, so you never really get that. But I got home at like 6 a.m, on the flight back, and I knock on the door, and my wife opens it up, the door, and I went, can you believe I didn't get hurt? And she goes, oh, I know. Oh, my God. I go, hell, I'm good. I feel good. Let's go to bed. And it wasn't a disaster, even though, we couldn't block them. And, man, I got to tell you, I told a few quarterbacks, go look at that game. It's hilarious. Yeah. I mean, they're hitting me, and I'm going on the ground. And, oh, gosh, it was the old San Diego really good DN that could rush the passer. And went to not Louis Kelcher. Oh, damn it, Bob! I thought
Dr. Claude Humphreys.
No, not Humphreys. I know he's there. I
Oh,
can see him.
really? Yeah, really athletic, man. But I'd be on the ground in the play. He would come in and go, bam, and hit me in the head. I didn't say anything, whatever. That's
Smelling
just
salt.
Yeah, give me some salt. That's the way it was. I just go, if you did that now, he would be kicked out of the game. He would be fined. And, it would be a big deal.
Hey, Phil, just look at the Jim Burt hits and Lenny Marshall hits in the playoffs.
Wow.
I have a Jim Burt story for you, Phil. I have a Jim Burt story. Go ahead.
Oh, but no, those two changed Joe Montana's life.
Yeah,
it's not even funny.
Especially Leonard. Because Joe never played for the Niners again.
No,
That's right.
Nope.
I mean, there they are trying to go third Super Bowl in a row. I'll never forget, since I was hurt and I'm watching the game, I hear it on the TV, after a play or two, Pat Summerall goes, well, we got word from the 49ers about Joe Montana, and he has overall body ache. And he's exactly what he said. Joe Montana has overall body ache. And it's a wonder he didn't. I mean, it could have been even worse than it was. Leonard had it seemed like he had about a 30-yard running start to just run through him. Man, we lost the games to the 49ers, but damn, Joe took a lot of big hits playing us too. Of course, I took them too, but it's just, it's the way it is. So,
it was a little bit old school, even though things changed. But in the 2011 NFC Championship game, the biggest beating Eli Manning ever took was against the Niners. And his offensive linemen, his teammates, they say to this day, the one thing he never did, he never once ripped us as we were not blocking for him getting killed.
And he got killed.
Yeah, he did. It was his. I thought it was one of his. That validated so many things I thought about Eli. I can't quite put it together like you, but that was the year they didn't play that well, right? Was that the Buffalo was the last game of the year that year?
Second to last. 07 was the
07 was the year Mod Ratio at Buffalo. Yeah.
But no, you're right, Phil. In 11, their defense was ranked 27th. They were ranked 30th in running, and they were ranked 29th in yards per carry. He, at that time, set an NFL record for most fourth quarter comebacks.
Wow.
They won the most games with less than 2 minutes to go. And that was the year of Victor Cruz and all that other shit.
Man.
And he got his ass kicked until they beat the Jets. And it's when Ahmad Bradshaw on Christmas Eve, after the Cruz 99-yarder ran over the Jets safety, they suddenly rediscovered what they had been.
Okay. Hey, that's true. Eli didn't yell at him. Well, I can't say that I did that.
I remember you, Phil.
The best was got to know who to talk to. But Bart Oates, who was a very good friend and just a great leader, and he was everything you'd want in a center. And he'd come sit on the bench. I'd sit next to him, Bart, what the hell, and I'm not even going to say what I said. I just was out of my mind. And he goes, well, Phil, it's not my guy. And I said, I don't give a crap. Fix it. He'd go, okay, I'll fix it. I was like, why didn't he just punch me in the face?
But if Bart was at that Don Sperling dinner that Neelay Shah orchestrated for us,
right?
Bart would have sat next to you, just like Sean sat next
Sean sits next to, oh my God, him and Eli, they need to get married. I mean, boy, they're over talking. I mean, boy, I know their relationship is really it's pretty cool.
But you were like that with your old lineman, right?
Yeah, no, we got along. I loved them all, But Bart was the one that took the brunt of all my mouth. Let's put it that way. When I just couldn't hold it in anymore, especially once we got to the sideline and we sat down.
So Parcells yelled at you, and then you yelled at Bart.
Yeah, I was getting even. But hey, Chris, it was, of course, I saw somebody the other day say you just can't be a Bill Parcells. Let's be a little careful about that. There's different ways to do it, and he would always change to the players or whatever. But man, practice we never had a practice where we went through the motions. It was the biggest day of our life every day. But Bill would, get into people. Lawrence, like he would have days where Lawrence would be the guy he would beat on. Now he only did it a couple times a year, but there was all. And Bart Oates, Bart was his favorite target, because Bart was the center and he's smart and all this other stuff. And Jim Burt, he loved ripping Burt.
I was just going to ask you about Jim Burt. I have a story about Jim Burt and you, Phil.
Go ahead.
How was it, Phil? How was it practicing against Jim Burt? Because I'm leading to something. Go ahead.
Well, they couldn't hit me or get near me. They got too close to me. That's one thing. They were always like, God almighty, this first of the games. Guys they're constantly knocking your passes down in practice. You're going, but yeah. So Jim was part of that crew, doing a lot of stuff that can aggravate you.
So Jim gets drafted. He rents an apartment in Staten Island, where I live. Literally around.
Did you arrest him?
I was 15. You nutbag. So, right? So
Just his ass.
I hear, hey, a lot of kids in the neighborhood. Hey, there's a giant that lives on whatever block.
Right.
It can't be. So we go around. Who is it? Jim Burt. Guess he rented an apartment. He first comes to the Giants. So we all, of course, asking him questions. Long.
Clearly doesn't understand geography. That Staten Island's probably not where you want to live when you work in East Rutherford. But
I also had an incident with Jim down the road where his golf clubs got stolen. I got to tell you that one day.
Probably a real estate deal he was looking at. Even
I don't know. So I go, Jim. Well, everybody's everybody's fasting. How's Phil? How's it practicing against Phil? He goes like this. Phil, you ready? He goes, that little crybaby. I'll never forget this, Phil.
That's good. I love it. I love it.
I go, what do you mean? He goes, every time we get near him, he's crying about something. He's a typical quarterback. Cries about every damn thing.
Oh, I love it.
I was like, I'm like, oh wow, Sims is a crybaby because every practice he's crying about something like that. I was laughing my ass. So I had when you were coming on, when Bob told me you were coming, I said, I got to tell Phil this story, man.
Oh, I love it. It was probably true. I bitched him up because hell, I don't want to break my fingers throwing in practice. But yeah, I was. I had a big mouth. It's amazing. Jim, though, I will say this to you, Chris. Jim, I saw him recently. He looked great. He's always in shape, but you never, as you know, I'm just telling you, never mess with him.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Get that little eye tilt.
Yeah, he could be evil, Bert, right?
Oh man, I mean, it's he validated it. Trust me, many times. So, yeah. But yeah, he was a fighting son of a bitch. Okay, I'll just put it that way. And nobody wanted to mess around with Jim Burt.
He was
hell. He could two-gap a damn truck. I mean, he had hands like Bob. You remember ever seeing his hands?
Yeah. I had to put him on my shoulder, and it's like,
one of his fingers was this thick. Just from grabbing.
Howard Cross, but
oh my God, Howard Cross. Yeah, Howard. But yeah, he was. That's really funny.
Yeah, true story, Phil. I mean, when you were coming on, I said, I got to tell Phil this story.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, so Phil, you're from Kentucky, but you're Jersey. You raised your kids in Jersey.
Yep.
You got, what's the name of the Italian place you like?
Arturo's. Mom and Pop and the sons.
Arturo's. I'm a Benito's guy. Everybody's got their place, right? So what's your go-to meal when you go to eat?
Oh, well, it depends on where I go, but Arturo's, it's wide open.
Yeah, we're not talking barbecue here. We're talking Italian.
I know, Italian food. I know. It's wide open, though. There's so many. I have selection anxiety. Should I eat pasta tonight, Dana? What do you think? And she go, I'll just eat everything you want, whatever. So it's still chicken Parmesan, some pasta on the side, and probably some baked clams or clams casino, something like that to start with the salad. And the desserts are made every day by the mother. So when I usually go there, I go, hell, I'm here. We got to live it up. So cheesecake, like 3 different kinds of cheesecake you pick, but the food is just tremendous. And as I get older, though, I have to admit, I'm cutting back because I don't digest food like the way I used to. And my weight is really, really high.
It's not Howard Crossers, but
no, but I stood on a scale today at the gym, And I said to some people behind me, no, you're not going to see. I put my hands over it.
Did you?
Yeah. I
Now-
thought I lost like 5 pounds. Nope, I'd gained another one.
Now,
So,
when you were on this show that we did during the pandemic with me and Billy Ray Brown, we did Cooking Because, and
oh yeah, it
you,
was
you,
great.
you did your dish, and you used a lot of olive oil, which I
Yeah.
like that. But is there an Italian dish that you make?
Well, let's see, what have I done? I did veal cutlets not long ago. Yeah, so that was good with some pasta. So that turned out much better than I expected, because the guy that cuts my hair, he's, hey, I got to know what, he's Terry, you don't have to bring me food. I just tell you.
Just cut my hair.
But now make sure when you prepare it, you do this and this. I got it. Okay. So yeah, it's fun.
So Phil, you want to know how to make a true Roman carbonara?
I'm listening.
It's really easy. I'm going to take you through a pictorial of it. Okay.
I'm gonna write it down.
Here's what you need. You need some pasta, pecorino romano. You can get guanciale where you live, 2 eggs, and pepper. Okay.
Okay, hold on. 2 eggs, pepper.
Guanciale. and
One what? What'd you say?
Guanciale.
Okay, got it.
It's pork cheek.
Yeah.
Okay, but you can get it in Jersey. It's a little harder to find here in Florida. And just pepper. Okay.
I got it. Pepper. Yeah.
All right, I'm teaching you this thing. So now you take the egg, you take 1 egg whole and just the egg yolk, and then you take the pecorino romano that you grate and just pepper, and then you just mix it together into this paste. You
Got it.
that?
Yep.
All right. So now you take your guanciale, put it in a frying pan cold. You don't even need olive oil, and now you just crisp it up. It's like Italian version of bacon.
Okay.
Okay. So now you
Okay. Cook until crisp.
cook until crisp.
All right.
Now you take your pasta. So you're cooking your pasta, right? I'm trying to get this picture for you. I'm gonna just upload this picture right
By
here.
the way, Pop, Sperling's on. Donna's jumped in.
Okay. So now what you do is you cook your pasta, right? This thing is this StreamYard. Saying? It's not that part's
That's
not.
all right. I know how to cook pasta. So go ahead.
All right, so you cook the pasta for a couple minutes.
Right.
Nice and easy, lemon squeezy.
Right.
But 3/4 of the way through the cooking of your pasta, take your pasta out, put it in that pan where you cook the guanciale.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, you take the guanciale out and you drain it. Then you take this mixture right here. So this is now the cheese, the egg, and the egg yolk and pepper, and you whip it into a paste.
Right.
Okay? You whip it into a paste. Now you got your pasta. You put it in the pan with no heat on. The pan is still hot. You got the guanciale out. Take the pasta out of the pot. Throw it into that pan. Take a little bit of pasta water. Start to saute it. And then take this paste, your egg yolk, your cheese, and your pepper.
Right.
And you spoon it right into the top, and then you just toss it or stir it. Toss
Right.
it, stir it. And it becomes like an emulsified cream. And then you just plate it, and then you take the guanciale after you've drained it on paper towel, sprinkle it on top, a little more of the pecorino romano.
Can't have enough.
It's so easy to make. It's 3 ingredients.
So here's what I need to know. From start to finish cooking, how long does it take?
So when you get the guanciale, you have to trim the hard. So like if you have pancetta and you've got like the hard edge, you can cook that. The guanciale, the cured outside, you got to carve off. Then you just ribbon it. That takes about 4 minutes to saute.
Yeah.
However long it takes you to boil the pasta, 9 minutes, but you only need it in there for 6. How long does it take you to crack 1 egg and then just remove the egg white and put the yolk in?
Right.
You grate pecorino romano. Do not use Parmesan. Changes everything. Grate that pecorino romano, pepper, because the guanciale is so salty that you need no salt. So now you take your pasta, you've cooked it for 6 of the 9 minutes, put it into the pan you cook with your guanciale, start to stir it around, add just a half a ladle of the pasta water, and then put that egg cheese mixture with a spoon, throw it, and just toss it. And you've never turned the flame back on that pan because that pan's still hot. I think start to finish, you're done in less than 15 minutes.
You getting all this, Phil?
Chris, I got it written down, but here's what's going to happen.
I'm going to send it to you. I'm going to
I
walk
know.
you through it.
Once I start getting it ready to cook, his ass is coming on my phone, and he's going to watch.
I was going to say, there's no way that you could make it.
I can't hear all that, but I wrote it down. At least I know the ingredients.
There's 3 ingredients. There's
the
pasta, there's 2 eggs, pecorino romano, and guanciale. And that's it.
Romano.
And pepper.
And pepper, yeah. Okay, I got. But when I do it, Chris,
you'll be FaceTiming him. Yeah,
I'm gonna have it all. He's gonna. Yeah, if it only takes 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Bob, what do I do?
Yeah. You'll be FaceTiming.
And it looks like that.
Oh, it looks great. It does.
It looks great, Pop. I mean,
hey,
I don't know if I would get it like that, but
quick story about cooking. My mom was a great baker.
Are you bringing up the pie thing?
Yes, that I. So
I hope Matt and I are doing the show tomorrow in Sirius.
I don't care.
I hope Matt's watching. He's probably not. He's 10.
Well, she made real pumpkin pie.
Yes.
The pumpkins, you slice them, you cook it, you squeeze the water, just on and on. So I did it one day because I was bored. I said, to my wife, I'm going to make some pumpkin pies like my mom. So back then, you paid for the long distance phone calls. So I'm calling her, Mom, how much brown sugar? Well, you just got to feel it. Everything was, I don't know. You just got to feel how much it is. There was no like.
Yeah, exactly. When I'm at my parents' house, when the Giants are home, and I got to stay at my parents' house on Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night, I asked my mom, what's the recipe? She goes, I don't know. I just eyeball it.
Look, Chris, I was on the phone every 2 minutes. Mom, I don't know. It doesn't look right.
I don't know. I'm just doing ga.
Oh, but
so what happened? Go ahead.
The pies turned out great.
Okay.
I took some to the teammates because I made like 12 of them.
Right.
Whatever I got out of that one big pumpkin. And my wife goes, yes, it's good. But between the phone calls and buying the ingredients, each one costs like $50. It really was. There's that time. You remember, you make a long distance phone call for 1 minute. It was like
I remember. Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. It was. I'll never do it again because it was so hard. They're milk pumpkins. You ever seen a milk pumpkin?
Sure. Yeah.
Hell, try to slice one of those.
Sure. Somerset County over there.
Oh gosh.
Shoot. Baking it. It was hilarious.
That's way too much work for me, Phil. Way too much work.
But for me too. That's why I'll never do it again.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was probably one and done with that.
All
well, this is fun, you guys. Chris, good talking to you. I see you're
Phil. It was a pleasure, brother.
A Giants country. Okay.
It was a pleasure.
He's got another podcast, Giant Insider Podcast, which is one of the. It's like in the landscape of Believe in Giants that Carl and I do.
Right.
Like legit, because Chris actually knows ball.
Okay.
And he knows, so he's legit, and he'll arrest you if you don't agree with him.
Well, hopefully I know what it feels like.
Phil, chin.
Yeah, good.
Phil, my man, thank
Chris,
you very much.
Yes,
thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. A lot of fun.
The great Phil Sims. Round of applause, everybody.
All right. Yep. We get this. Hey, I say, does Matt? Have y'all talked about the quarterbacks yet with Matt? Does he do that at all?
Well, he came on a spur of the moment. So here's the story. I invented this driving home from my son's 7-on-7 tournament, the weekend of the conference championships.
Okay.
Biz and I'm like, it's 2:15. The game starts at 3. Hey, Biz, why don't we go live on X and YouTube, and we'll call it we'll just 2 Italian guys talking ball, drinking wine.
Right.
Phil, we got up to 8,000 viewers with no promotion of people watching us talk about the game that we were watching. We didn't show the game, obviously.
Yeah.
So then Matt came on, and he was awesome. And Matt and I are doing the show tomorrow morning on Sirius XM NFL Radio from 10 a.m. to noon. So we'll talk some quarterbacks.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to live stream the Super Bowl, and I thought, especially if my oldest son was here, and just kind of try to be ahead of it. In other words, whatever, just going, oh my God.
That's what we did. That's what
happened to us.
So we went on during the NFC Championship. First of all, I had to figure out how to do everything. Like you, no clue.
Right.
I figured out, all right, here's a stream. YouTube needs a 24-hour window of approval, so we'll go live on Twitter, X. We go live, 100, 200, 1,000, boom, 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 boom. We get to the start of the AFC Championship game. We got up, and we said, we're going to just take a timeout. We're going to go get some more wine. Biz was shoveling down rigatoni or whatever he was eating.
Ziti.
Phil, we come back on for the AFC Championship game, and we soared to 8,000 live viewers that were asking us questions.
Yeah, great game.
So the Mangia Cast, next year we're going to do standalone games, either Thursday or Sunday night or Monday night, and just watch the game with our audience and talk about it.
Yeah.
Because Biz knows a ton of people from his years, and obviously I've been around for a long time, so we know enough. And you know what? Fans got into it.
Oh,
They're like, wow, this is like some real talk.
Yeah. You know what's great about it? And I do this on the radio shows I do, people. And I said, look, I don't second guess. I first guess. I said, I'm telling you the truth. Like Buffalo was, maybe they're, whatever. They got the ball. Was it Buffalo, the Buffalo game? Oh, no. It was the one that really got me was Houston. They're playing Kansas City. It's windy, whatever. And they try, a 55-yard field goal or something like that early game. I'm sitting there going, what are you doing?
Right.
Punt it inside your 10. They had 2 times in that game that were terrible coaching decisions.
Yeah. 4th
and whatever, about midfield, they're going for it. It was long. I said, if you punt it inside the 10, you get the ball back. You got them. Instead, they give it back to Kansas City. They kick a field goal that turned out to be huge in the game. But I like to make the guess before it happens.
Exactly. And that's what we do.
That's what we did, Phil.
That's the great thing about it.
We scream. We're looking at the TV screaming, why the fuck are you going for 2 right now? Look at the score. Look at how the game is going. Why are you in shotgun on 3rd and 1? And if they succeed, and it happened, Biz, in one of the things where they went for 2 and they were successful. Yeah. But we said, why are you doing this? And even though they made it, we said on the live stream, I still disagree with the decision, even though it worked.
Yeah.
And we gave our reasons why.
You know, the numbers for 2-point conversions were not good this year.
Oh, it was way down, Phil. It was way down.
So, and then it's just, see, here's the out about everything. Well, we're an aggressive team. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. You're right. Stupidity doesn't matter if you're aggressive. Oh, let me write that down. Mm-hmm. That's all. Oh, shoot. I hit the thing.
How's the game going?
Well, how about the analytics, Phil?
Who got hurt?
Phil, there was a game this year with the Giants. I forget which one it was in Dave's. I thought, I went for 2, and I asked him afterwards. I said, Coach, what was the thought process with the 2? And he told me right there. He goes, well, the analytics, you go for 2. I remember him telling me at the presser, and it was one of those things like, what are we doing? You know what I mean?
Listen, it can't account for the game that's being played.
Thank you.
If the team is whooping your ass, does the analytics know that is that part of whether? Let's see, the analytics say you're getting your ass whooped, so don't do it. No, it's just the opposite. Analytics, you think, oh, it was 52%, they should go for it. Oh my, well, whatever.
Yeah, but my left guard got hurt, and my tight end is on the sideline. It's raining sideways. I don't give a fuck what the analytics say. And listen,
it's unbelievable, really.
And the whole term of analytics, and I think you and I have talked about this, but I've said this a zillion times. Look, analytics have always been involved in sports. When baseball first started, how do you set your lineup? Guy who gets on base a lot, leadoff.
Right.
Guy who puts the ball in play, hit second. Guy who hit for average and got a lot of hits, hit third. And a guy who could hit the ball out of the ballpark, hit fourth. So analytics have always existed. Tom Landry created analytics for defense as a player coach with the Giants because of his mathematical background, where he was the first one to study film and figure out, here are the probabilities out of these formations, what they want to run, and here's what we need to do to create a defense to stop Jim Brown based on tendencies. So analytics is not a bad word. It's been used in sports ever. Analytics, go back to Red Holzman and the Knicks when they were winning championships. You fouled the guy that had a lower free throw percentage at the end of the game because the analytics said he'll probably miss one of the two when he'll get the ball. But now it's become like a crutch for stupidity. So
it's another.
If you come on the Mangia Cast during a standalone game as we watch the game, you'll hear us scream, even if we're wrong.
Sean McDermott,
because the greatest analyst that I've ever worked with outside of you, but this year was the first time. Teddy Atlas could watch a fight within a round and a half and tell you how the fight would probably end and first guess on the air. And he was wrong sometimes, but he was right about 95% of the time.
Oh, listen, he was awesome. Awesome. I really tuned into some fights because it was his guys or whatever,
But Phil, you were a great first guesser too, because first guessing.
Phil used to break it down. I remember that. He
first
was great
guessing and John Madden, Charlie Weiss told me his greatest thing to watch as a former coach was John Madden first guessing in Super Bowl 36 when, with a young Tom Brady, he was yelling on TV.
Oh yeah,
that they should play for overtime. But as they hit the screen to the back out of the backfield, and they dink, and then they hit a pass to the tight end, and they open things up. Madden admitted on the air, I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I thought, but they're proving me wrong. It's nothing wrong. Dick Ebersol, who first hired you at NBC, and he always told us in our Olympic seminars, it's okay to be wrong, but the audience will respect you more if you first guess than second guess. Because anybody can say, I missed the field goal. Why'd you kick it?
Yeah, that's right.
But first guessing is what the audience wants from us.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. No doubt. It's the 2-point thing, whatever. And I coached a couple All-Star games, and making decisions on the sideline. The first time I did, I went, well, this is a little harder than I thought it was going to be. What's 4th and 1? So what? Oh, you want me to make a decision? Oh, okay. Ticket. It was hilarious at first, but yeah, it's never. But I believe coaches, it is part of it. They can go for it and always get their way out of it just because this is who we are. We're aggressive, or whatever. All the phrases that they all have, and it's
cost Brandon Staley his job.
Well, yes. I mean, it's
3 years ago they had beaten Kansas City in Kansas City, and in December they had him dead to rights at home, and they were outplaying him, and he started going for an every 4th down in his own territory. They wound up losing. They would have won the division.
Well, listen, you remember the game against the Raiders at the end of the year?
At the end of the year, last game of the year.
Well, they needed a tie.
Just leave it alone. The Raiders were going to let them get the tie.
Of course, because they're getting in anyway. Bisaccia's like, we're in. You want to come in with us?
That was incredible.
But you remember it was 4th and 2. I think it was first quarter. From his own 22, he went for it.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't get it. And then the Raiders scored a touchdown. And I've heard so many things about that. When that game was over, wow. I mean, it was there were some people in that locker room that had some things to say. And not just the players.
But he still lasted, which is
that's crazy.
Anyway.
All right. Well, good stuff, man.
Phil, thank you, bro, man.
Dude,
I could talk, Phil. I could talk to you for
an hour
8 hours.
Minutes over your allotted time.
Well, I just figured for every 5 minutes I stay on, you're going to give me a little more money. So,
Hey,
hey, as Parcell would say, hey, Papa, if I had your money, I'd burn mine. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Bill.
yeah. The
My
who's
favorite
got-
thing.
The guy who's got more money
Chris.
than he could ever want.
Yes, Chris.
Yes.
One day, Bill is yelling at me, and he's to my side at practice, and practice is going pretty damn good because practice had to be good every day.
Mhm.
And he's going on, and and I'm sitting there going, and I turn to him, I go, "Shut up!" And I screamed at him, and go, all you do is just bitch. You're always bitching and yelling. Just shut up." And Parcells, Bob's heard all these stories. Parcells goes, "Ooh, Sims is mad. Do you want to hit Sims?"
Yeah, Phil.
"Oh, Sims, oh, and then I remember going, "Man, there's something wrong with you."
Phil, I was going to ask you, brother, for one Bill story before you left. I didn't want to bother you because you went way over the time.
Dude, we'll be going for another hour.
I can write a book.
I could talk to Phil for friggin' 9 days.
Oh, man.
Hey, Phil, can I grab you for one LT story? One before
Well,
you
the
sign
ones I
up?
really love, I can't tell you.
Why?
No,
I gotta
man,
get you. I know.
you're gonna get me off the air. I can't.
Yeah.
Lawrence, I can't. Oh, when he discovered golf, Bob, one day we're going to practice. He pulled his car halfway into the gate on the outside field. He had the door open and his golf clothes spread out already.
Training camp or practice?
Practice during the season. He's going to go to Upper Montclair up the street to play when practice is over. So the practice is dragging. It's one of those Parcells. Do it again. Do it over. And all of a sudden, you hear Lawrence go, "Hey," he goes, "I got a tee time at 4:05, and I'm going to make it." And Parcells, "Oh, okay." Lawrence says, "Oh, And then 10 minutes later, it's just still chaos for the team. And Lawrence goes, "I got a tee time at 4:05, and I'm going to make it." And it's real. And now Parcells go, "Come on, let's hurry this up." And then finally, I'm not exaggerating, he goes, "We don't need to run the rest of these play Sims. Goddamn, we run them every day,
Hey, Phil, can I tell you a quick LT story?
Oh,
A guy you know around this area forever, Russ Salzberg. He's telling me this story.
What do you
He's
say?
at a
What do you
golf. He's had a golf tournament with LT,
right.
and LT hits. He shanks one off his iron, or one of his irons. He shanks one into a freaking lake, pond, whatever the hell it was.
Didn't
Right,
count.
Phil?
It said that was a warm up. That doesn't count.
So Lawrence, he's off the. It was off the fairway. So Lawrence starts mother effing everything. Right, you mother eff. He takes his iron and wings it into the freaking pond or lake, whatever the hell it was. Right.
Right.
Next thing you know, there's LT with his fancy white pants on, rolling up his sleeves, leg pants, walking dead in the middle of this freaking pond.
Oh, my God.
So everybody's like, "Lawrence, what the fuck? What are you doing? Just forget it." Lawrence, he goes, "You know how much I just paid for that motherfucking iron? I'm not letting that damn thing lay in there." And he rolls in there and he gets it. Everybody just is laughing on their freaking knees.
All right.
Lawrence.
So he got muddy to get the iron. But if it was his tee shot or a golf ball he hit, he would have said it didn't count.
Oh, he would have took a he would have, yeah, no question. Yeah.
Hey, he's driving up the Parkway on a Sunday morning at 5:20. My phone rings, and I'm thinking, I look at the clock and go, "Oh my God, something's got to be bad." And whatever, my wife picks up, she goes, "Hello," and she goes, "Oh, hi, LT." He gives me the phone. I said, "What?" And he goes, "Man, what is it with you white people always sleeping?" He goes, "I'm driving up the Parkway. I'm coming to your house. I need a place today to play golf at. Can you get that done? And I need to borrow your golf equipment because I don't have mine in my car with me." So he drives and gets in my driveway. I bring my clubs out for him. He's got them at the front. He's swinging. "Oh, I like your clubs." And my wife's out there standing there talking to him in a robe. And so I give him a shirt, a hat, gloves, the golf court, or the golf clubs, and shoes. I don't have pants that can fit his big ass. So I don't. He goes. So I call this place. They said, yeah, he can come. They said, yeah, we'll let your guy on. They go, who is it? I said, it's Lawrence Taylor. And they went, oh my God. And I just went, whatever. And he goes, what's he wearing? Well, I said, he's got golf clothes, shirt on, but he does have leather pants on. Oh my God, no. Just,
I guess they let him on.
Lawrence went over and played with the first group out, and he did not stop playing until it was dark that day. He played the whole day. He never stopped to get a drink or nothing. Just
in leather pants.
And leather pants. And not only leather, but thick leather pants and ugly.
Hopefully he burned them.
Oh, yeah. But
what
I said to him, I can remember, I could tell you the guy's name, but I won't. But he asked me, and I go, I'm thinking, well, he does have leather pants.
Oh my God!
I would say that would be the first, the last, and only time leather pants wore at this club.
Phil, we appreciate it.
All right,
Phil, brother, thank you, man. Hope to talk to you again soon, man.
Bob, within the next 2 weeks, we'll make this dish. I got a lot written down.
It's very simple.
All right. Well, for you, it is.
It's for anybody. It's three ingredients.
All right. We'll see.
Free.
I'll do it.
Look, there you go. Right there. How you doing? Yeah.
I know it does look good.
That's the end result. Was the getting to that end result. That's the problem.
You like your noodle? You like your noodle a little tough, or do you make it?
It has to be al dente because like a normal spaghetti is 9 minutes.
Right.
Imported pasta is 9 minutes. So you cook it for 6 max, and then you put it in that frying pan with a little pasta water and the guanciale oil that's in there that you you fried the guanciale in, and then you put that egg, and it's just
Chris. When we do this, we'll FaceTime you too.
Yeah, you got to get me in this. I got to check this out.
And I'll be cursing halfway. God dang it! I knew I should.
Look at Sperling. I know Donnie's a good hockey guy. The USA leads Canada 2-1. They're playing in Boston. Hopefully the fans in Boston booed the shit out of the Canadian anthem. And of course, the Canadian players didn't drop their gloves like our guys did 9 seconds in. But let's kick their ass, okay?
Tonight they did. They dropped their gloves.
No, when they played in Canada.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say
after they booed our anthem.
Yeah.
U.S. players said, we're going to drop the gloves. We're going to brawl. We kicked your ass. We'll score. We're going to beat your ass. And now tonight they're playing in Boston, and we lead 2-1. Let's go USA. Boom. All right, Phil, thank you.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Good night.
Right. You know what? We got to get Phil on here. We got to get him on again.
We got to get Phil on. I mean, we could talk to him for hours, man.
Well,
he starts telling stories.
Well, how about get him on the Mangia Cast when we do a live game?
Oh, he's definitely got to come on with us during the game. Oh.
You know what you know what we'll do one night?
Without question, Pop.
Here's what we're gonna do. You want high comedy? We get a Thursday night, a Sunday night, a Monday night. It's just his ass night. And we get him and his son Matt both on.
Oh, be great, man.
Hey, are you on Instagram at all?
No, I gotta get on it now because you said get on it, so I gotta get on. I'm not a social.
So there's a guy from Jersey, pure Jersey. Love the guy. Banks and I met him late in the season during one of the home games. But I've been a follower of his. My kids are. His name is Mangia Cast.
Nicky what?
Nicky. Go on Instagram.
Okay. Nicky. How do you spell last name?
Cass.
Oh, Cass. Okay, yeah. Cass. Okay.
Go watch his shit. You will. So I bought his first clothing. No bad. Okay.
I like that, by the way.
Bought Mangia Cast's thing, no bad days, and then I got the Mangia Cast T-shirt underneath. How you doing?
Cash what?
Cash only.
Cash only. Okay.
So what every Italian understands.
Well,
cash.
That we know.
It's all about cash. It's all about cash
It
only.
wasn't credit cards for me for a long time.
No, I had the George card.
The bean on top.
All right, so this was awesome.
Phil was great, man. I mean, come on, Pop. You could talk to him.
I was a little bummed. Our live audience, I didn't realize.
How many people we have on? How many people was watching?
Not a lot.
Oh, okay.
Not what I thought. But then I realized we're going opposite USA versus Canada.
Yeah.
In this Four Nations, which once again showed the NBA how out of touch they are, because the NHL put together Four Nations, and they actually play hard. They play like it matters.
Yeah.
They dropped the gloves in Canada when they booed the national anthem of the United States, and the U.S. guys,
Bob,
boom. So
I look.
Don't get me into the. Last game I was at, you know the story. Last NBA game I've ever watched in person was my last game as voice of the Nets. Once you see how the sausage is made, you never go back into the factory. NHL, they got balls. They care.
Look, I could tell you this. When those guys put on that jersey for their home country, it's life and death to them.
Hold up. Who guys?
When hockey players put on their jerseys.
Are they professional players that get paid
big money?
Tens of millions of dollars? Not NFL money.
Yeah.
Not necessarily NBA money, but money that any other person, it's at least the 10 million and more range. It ain't 50 million.
No.
It ain't NBA. But do they care about our country?
Bob, I'm telling you, man, when they put on that jersey, they would do it for nothing. I mean, they do it. It's life and death to them. Trust me when I'm telling you. I was friends with an NHL player that played for Canada, played for the Calgary Flames back in the day, Theo Fleury. I was personal friends with Theo for a while.
Theo.
And man, I remember him telling me when we played for Team Canada, and he goes, it was nothing like it, man. So yeah, when those guys put that USA jersey on, they play with pride. It's not just put the jersey on. Okay, let's do this, and let's get out of here. No.
Mail it in.
Let's mail it in. I really don't give a shit.
Hockey players and NFL players are combined because what they go through to play their sports on a day in and day out basis in their sports blows away Major League Baseball and the NBA. Blows them away. Because there's guys in Major League Baseball and the NBA that if they saw what hockey players and NFL players go through on a week, fucking Ahmad Bradshaw wore 2 walking boots 4 days of the week at the Giants facility in 2011. He was in double boots, walking in the cafeteria over there. But you know what? Boots came off on Sunday, and Ahmad Bradshaw gave you what he got.
I tell you what.
There's not a baseball player, there's not a basketball player, especially an NBA player on this fucking planet that would do with that.
Bob, I was telling a story on the Giant Insider podcast, and obviously this was our first year getting to know Brian Burns, and there was a couple of games, Bob, after the game, because Burns, he was hurt all year. He was hurt. That groin was bothering him all year, and there was a game. I forget.
I wouldn't have noticed.
Exactly right.
I wouldn't have noticed.
And he was in his locker.
I noticed other people not always being.
Yeah, there was. I'm not gonna get into that, but Brian wasn't one of them. And there was one game, Bob. And I talked about this on the podcast on X and everything. And he got up from his locker. First, he was like, "Please, just give me a minute." Okay, Brian. Blah blah blah. He gets up. He could barely stand. And then he walks out. He gets dressed, does a little quick presser with us. And then I catch him as he's walking out. And he's he is hurting.
They walk like 80-year-old men.
And I said, Brian, I was actually like, Brian, you all right, man? And he goes, man, my effing groin. He goes, but do me a favor, man. He goes, don't fucking put this on social media. And I go, dude, you got my word. I ain't saying nothing. All I said was, listen, this guy's playing hurt. That's all I said, And I said about, he was but dude, there was games pop, and you know this, man. There was Burns and he could barely walk out of there. And then you see him during the week. He was on, he was on the injury report, but there he was Sunday. Did you know he was hurt that bad, Pop? Sunday afternoons? right?
I
You didn't know it? No. I mean the way he played, Bob. The way he was playing.
No.
I know you know he was hurt. I'm saying the way he was playing.
I invite when anybody ever tweets this shit, watch an NFL game, they should put flags on these guys. And I say this on my Sirius show all the time. How about you come to the booth with Carl and I on a road game? Leave the booth, take the elevator down, walk to the giant locker room, go collect our luggage in the back of the locker room, to go to the bus, to go to the screening, to go walk through the fucking training room. Walk through the training room after a game. Watch these guys come out of the shower with fucking bruises and welts, and the amount of guys sitting on a training table. And then they visit with their families and all this other shit. Then we go through TSA screening. They got the Chipotle or whatever it is, whatever town we're in. You take it on the bus. You eat it on your way to the plane. This, that, the other thing. And watch the amount of guys that can't get up because they got stairs in the front, stairs in the back of the plane. Watch the amount of guys that have trouble getting up there. Watch the amount of guys that got their legs in something and they're being helped by their teammates carrying their bag so they can get up the stairs. And watch the ice bags, because in today's NFL, they can't give medicine like they gave back in the day. In Phil's time, they'd be handing out painkillers
like candy. Yeah.
Like it was Tic Tacs. Yep. Today's NFL, they don't do any of that. It's ice. It's over the counter. It's managing until they get back to the facility and get to a doctor. So it's much more on the up and up. And the Giants are one of the least medical teams in the league. Like you could ask anybody who's played in the league. The Giants don't shoot people up before games. Other teams, there's a line of 30 people waiting to get a Toradol shot or whatever. Ronnie Barnes, ownership, hospital for special surgery, they have never been shoot you up teams. But you watch what these players do to get on the fucking plane and ice bags and then 4 days later, limited in practice, full go in practice. Friday, practice, limited practice. Saturday, probable. And it's like, oh, dude, these guys are unbelievable. Ahmad Bradshaw's, I always said Ahmad Bradshaw's probably not good enough to be in the Ring of Honor. Actually, his numbers don't put him in the Ring of the Honor. But I said if Ahmad Bradshaw ever got in the Ring of Honor, they shouldn't put 44 up. They should just put 2 walking boots. Because the dude was in fucking walking boots every day of the week. He'd be in the cafeteria in 2 walking boots. How's Ahmad doing? He's in 2 walking boots. Coach Coughlin, what do you think? He's a tough guy. Ahmad, how you feeling? I'll be fine. In fucking walking boots, in the cafeteria, talking with the cafeteria staff. Ahmad Bradshaw played on Sunday.
Yeah, he was one tough
dude. He had balls like nobody else. Anyway. All right, let's wrap it up.
I think a lot of people are going to be watching.
Not on Instagram. You don't know who Nikki Cass is.
No. I'll look into it.
Do me a favor. Go on Instagram. Sign up.
I'm going to sign up. Yeah.
Nikki Cast is Biz. No bad days. Look up Nikki Cast.
Mm-hmm.
You will so relate to him.
Mm-hmm.
He does all these little skits about it's all about Italian stuff. So it's like basketball coach, football coach, basketball coach, as if coach, and he puts a pillow under his thing, so he's like chubby Italian. He does the Jersey bagel or pizza store guy. He uses a towel like he's spinning pizza.
Okay.
Guy is phenomenal. So he started a little clothing thing. I'm not getting paid by him. Nothing. I'm just a big Nikki Cast fan.
Mm-hmm.
No bad days.
I like it.
No.
I like it, brother.
All right.
So
let's wrap it up. We got to repost this thing because
a lot of people.
Live audience was weak, but I think on the repost it'll be nice.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. We went against a heavyweight tonight with this hockey game, and I'm sure a lot of people will be watching it. So.
Big thanks to Phil Sims.
Yep, thanks again, Phil.
Chin,
my man. I'll see you soon.
His ass on a Tuesday.
Let's go watch the rest of the game. Hopefully, watch us.
See you for the next Mangia Cast.
See you soon.